Hi, I wanted to make this video for a long time. Um, Not really sure in what way to sort of start this, but um, I've been thinking a lot about the past 2 years, I'd say, maybe 3 years almost. Um, I've had a lot of very, very big changes um, to me and my life, and the way that I think, and the way that I try to, shall we say, behave or portray myself, or if that makes sense. I'm trying to think. Um, Basically, I've come to a point where I stopped being selfish, even though I don't really think that I ever was too selfish, but I started to not worry anymore about so much what I want and what I need, but more so how I could help other people. Um, Maybe because it's easier to do that than maybe finding what you want and trying to get what you want. Maybe it's partially sort of like an avoidance to your own life, so you fix someone else. But not really, I used to kind of do that sometimes when I was younger with relationships, but I mean more more about strangers and people I don't know at all. Um, but doing it for the reason because um, I feel compelled to do the right thing. I know this sounds really cheesy, but for example, um, I guess I'm trying to be a better person, and that's what I should have started with. Is I'm trying to be a better person, and learning how to be a better person isn't as easy as you think it is. And what is the reason why you want to be a better person? Is it because you want people to sorry, it's my cat. Is it because you want people like Wawa to like you more? No, seriously. I'm saying it's not because of those reasons at all. It's because I feel like there's a balance in the world, in the universe, and what I do affects that balance in my life and in other people's life. So I don't want to be a negative energy in the process of this life and people's lives I touch. I want to be a positive, and I want to be someone that not that I want to be. I would like to be someone that gets talked about when he leaves a room, and people think to themselves, that's a cool person, that's a genuine person. Yeah, I decided to make this video when Wawa is going crazy with all the toys. You relax. So anyways, yeah, so I'm kind of meandering, but wanting to be a good person and not wanting to put negative energy in the world is something that's been very important for me to do. And in order to do that, I've learned to be less judgmental. I don't think anyone can say that they're not a judgmental person. Everyone is judgmental, whether they want to be or not. So I've also taken a lot of steps of deprogramming myself politically. I used to be very liberal, I would very proudly say. and very left-leaning, I would very proudly say. Democratic, I would proudly say, 3-4 years ago. But I no longer feel that way at all. Um, I've realized the corruption in both sides of the political party, and I want nothing to do with it. Um, that's just me. And I've also realized if you take a side, then you're someone's enemy. So if you don't take a side, you're not a part of it. You're not a part of the fight, the negativity. I still have the same beliefs, but I realized the people that I thought were good people or were honest were not at all, and very corrupt. So I've become very anti-establishment, and stuff like that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm making a video about wanting to express who I've become over the past 3 years, and it's a journey that's been very important to me, and it's a journey that I try to take seriously as much as I can. I mean, I'm a serious person in one sense, but in another sense, I try to be funny and laugh at everything and stuff like that. So, so that's sort of where I am right now, and I've also thought a lot about understanding people and not being judgmental, I mean, really more so about trying to understand people I don't agree with, and making them as valid as someone I do agree with. I think, sorry, little kitty, I agree with him. So basically, I don't want to be in an echo chamber and surround myself with people that I agree with on everything. Basically, I just want to get along with, I know it sounds cheesy, but everyone. I mean, unless you're a very vile person who, I don't know, hurts people in some horrible way. So, yeah, but I'm trying not to become sort of I'm better than someone else because I'm enlightened in some way. So I've been trying to be a better person without becoming full of myself, and that's a really hard thing to do, because you think that you're doing the right thing, and then you think that you're doing it for the right reasons, and then you realize that you're doing it maybe for selfish reasons. So, is that good? I don't know, so been trying to make sure that I do things for a good reason, a reason that is true to who I am, and a reason that makes sense to me. So I think a lot about death. I used to think a lot about death when I was a kid, especially through high school. I remember sitting at class, looking up at the clock and thinking, I'm going to die someday. I'm going to die someday. And go, well, I won't die for another 60, 70 years, maybe 50 years. I'll be fine. And I remember thinking, like, man, what year will it be when I'm 50? Oh, that'll be 2024. So now I'm 49. And it is really weird to even feel like I'm close to 50. It doesn't even seem real. It's like, mentally, I'm not even, like, I don't feel old. But what's interesting is I feel the world around me has changed so much. Like, I don't feel like a part of it as much as a part of it as when I was younger. Like, I feel less connected to things around me now. And the way that things are, they're like moving and changing so fast. I don't feel familiar, and stuff. So, we all just have one life to live, and we have just one experience. And I think about this a lot. None of us know when we're gonna die, and that's kind of scary, like, to think about, like, how should I live my life? And people say, like, live your life like there's no tomorrow, you know, that cliche. But seriously, like, it's really hard to live your life the way you want to out of fear. I think all of us have so much fear of, like, trying to be happy and doing the things that make us happy. I know fear has been something that has held me back an incredible amount in my life. I remember there was a time right before I moved to Ohio in 2000, the summer of 2000. I would get like anxiety attacks sometimes when I would think about, okay, what do I do when I have the flu and I'm sick and no one can help me and I'm by myself? You know, like, you think of these things, like, you know, what am I going to do without my mom? I would think to myself. Just weird little shit like that. But it was very true. And I remember at one point I was arguing with myself mentally. I was working at this pizza shop called Boncaro's on Buffalo Road. This is 2000, July of 2000, June or July. And I'm just like, you're going to fucking move to Cincinnati with your $200 in your shitty car, and I don't care if you have fucking 20 panic attacks along the way. You're going no matter what. And I'm just like, okay, fine, I'm fucking gonna go. Because I started to get scared, like, what am I doing, you know? Because I was supposed to move with Chainsaw, but then he changed his mind at the last minute, it didn't come. So I was like, I guess I'm moving by myself. And yeah, it sucked. We were all supposed to move together, my band, in Here I Lie at the time. And then he decided to move to Canada, which is fine. And then Chainsaw decided he was not going to go, so now I'm all by myself moving to a place I only know a few people, but I'm just like, I just got to do it. I just felt compelled, like I had to do it for so many reasons, to prove that I could do it, because I felt weak and I wanted to do something that I felt would make me strong. And it was probably the most important decision I ever made in my life. Moving to Cincinnati in 2000 was the most important and the best decision I ever made, because it pushed me to do something I didn't feel like I was ready for. I had a lot of fun, and despite falling into painkiller drug addiction from a dentist, it was a really good time. I met a lot of really good people. I played a lot of shows and played music, and it's weird. It's almost like it didn't even happen, because it feels like a different person. Like, there's 3 Chris's. There's like 1974 to 2000, which is part 1. Part 2 is when I lived in Cincinnati from 2000 to 2007, and then part 3 is now, like, 2007 to 2023. They're like 3 different people. But I know it's all obviously just me. But as you get older, when you get to my age, it's very strange the way that things feel. Like, they don't feel, you know, sometimes I don't feel comfortable in my own skin. Sometimes I feel I don't, like, know who I am or what I'm doing, you know. In sort of a way, I still feel like a sort of like a lost 22-year-old searching for my meaning of life. Sometimes I feel that way. And sometimes that can, in sort of one hand, I feel like I haven't done anything in my life. I feel like sort of like I haven't lived or done the things that I wanted to. But on another hand, like, I know that's not true. It just feels that way. So yeah, I do suffer from depression and some anxiety, but more so I feel I suffer from dread, I would say. I have very strange nightmares a lot, but dread is what I've been suffering with for years now, more than anything. I guess that's its own type of depression, but just this impending doom of something bad is going to happen, and I can't control it. That's been something that's been heavily on my mind, even tonight. So anyways, I think I'm going to make more videos. I've been thinking about doing videos for like a year, and I would always like, what am I going to talk about? Like, I feel like I have so much to say, And I feel like it really does help me cathartically, but I also feel like it can help other people. Just, I think there's a lot of things that people feel and they don't get to discuss with other people because we're so disconnected from each other in a world of where we're all connected but disconnected. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, yeah. I miss my mother quite a bit. Some may or may not know, but she committed suicide in 2016, and yeah, it really sucked, to say the least. But as you get older, there's been so many times where I wish she was here and stuff like that. You know, it happens. You know, what are you gonna do? And then so many of my good friends have passed away, and then so many recently over the past few years, people very young, people who I couldn't even imagine them passing away in the way that they did. And then sometimes I have to tell myself, snap out of whatever darkness you're feeling or whatever, because their life is gone, and that could have been you, and it can be any day. So it's sort of like shit or get off the pot. You know, I have to remind myself sometimes that no matter how bad I feel about my situation, I always have to remind myself that there's so many people out there that have had it way worse or haven't even had a situation because their life was cut very, very short. So even though I don't understand this world, I don't understand why I'm here, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, you know, at least I know that I'm trying to be a good person and I'm trying to not hurt anyone. That's been like a really important thing for me, is basically I've learned that I don't want to hurt anyone, and I really want to take that seriously. And it's just because it's not only just because it's the right thing to do, but that's the type of person I want to be. I don't want to be selfish. So that's something that's been very important to me. But I also know that you have to take care of yourself. You have to, you know, love yourself. And so that's sort of a hard thing for me to do, because I really do often put myself way, way far last. And I don't realize it. Sometimes financially, I just give money away. Just, I don't know. If I get a little bit of money, I just like give it away to people. Like, nobody really knows that, but I do. Give it to charities or people, homeless people or something, just that I want to help. Because I just feel like, you know, hey, even though I don't feel like I'm where I want to be, or even though I may or may not be happy today, at least I can make someone else happy. And that's all that I can do. And sometimes that feels like enough. So, as you get older, well, as I've gotten older, I have felt much more disconnected from who I am, spiritually and emotionally. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes it's not a good thing. But I know talking like this makes me feel so much better, because I'm connecting with someone out there. I'm connecting with some energy. Maybe the thoughts that I'm saying, because I'm saying them verbally, and the vibrations of my voice goes out through the world and comes back, and it's this thing of energy. I don't know. I mean, I know there's some people out there that think that, dude, the fuck are you talking about? I think a lot of people are afraid to think about life, or I'm kind of like a drifter, you know, like I'm kind of like a wanderer. I'm very aimless in a lot of ways. I'm very spontaneous. I don't have a lot of plans, you know. I don't have a schedule, really. And I think a lot of people are very afraid of life. I am definitely afraid of life in a lot of ways. But I mean people that have a very strict schedule. They have like all these things they're super how do I say it? They're very rigid about a lot of things, or their world is very short. Their world is very small. You know, they get up and go to work and do this. They come home and they do that. They do this and do that. You know, what's really funny is like I don't think of myself as that way, but I've become that way, and that really is not who I am. I'm an adventurer and stuff like that, but having the will to go out and it's weird, you know, like over the past, you know, couple of years, I've just loved just being around my cats so much. I love spending so much time with them. It's like really important to me to see them right throughout the day and spend time with them. And yeah, I just love being around them so much. It's like so important to me to see them and see how cute he is. Look at how cute he is. It's a Wawa. Anyways, I don't know if this video, if I'm even gonna post this, but these are my thoughts for what is today, August 19th, 2023, I believe. Yeah, so these are the types of thoughts I've been having, and I don't know, I guess I just wanted to share them. It's important to me. I just want to say thanks to people out there who treat me kind, and thank you for people out there who are my friends and my family. Mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate the friendships that I have. A lot of the new friendships that I've had to a lot, you know, all my online friends and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think I'll make more of these. I don't know how frequent, but I've been thinking about it for like 6 months. You know, one thing I do want to touch on is mental health, and I think it's gotten really bad over the past, I don't know, 10 years, 5 years, especially since COVID. The isolation is horrible for people, and I know myself, I have definitely isolated myself quite a bit, and what's horrible is I don't even feel guilty about it, but I try to push myself to get out and do stuff, you know, but yeah, mental health, I think it's a really serious thing, and a lot of people don't talk about it or don't want to talk about it. And I guess that's like really sort of like why I'm posting this, is because, you know, we're just all human beings in this, floating around on the universe on this little globe, on this, well, this huge globe, but we're just a speck of dust in the universe of millions of who knows how many universes there are. And like, people are so afraid to open up to each other, and I just don't ever want to be that way, and I'm not that way at all. But it's hard when you don't have anyone to be that way with, you know. You sort of kind of just not give up, but you sort of just, yeah, kind of close yourself off and just get into a routine. And then, yeah, life is confusing as shit, you know what I mean? It's like, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I doing here? But I don't know, mental health I wanted to talk about is, I just wish people communicated more to each other and were more open, and I just wish people were nicer to each other. And I know that sounds really cheesy. If you're someone who's young, you'll understand when you get to about 50, and you'll understand how important it is to be nice to someone, to be good to someone, to be a good friend, you know. So yeah, I don't really see myself saying anything too important in the next 5 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this right now. So thank you, everyone. Peace. Thank you.